Deadly journey of billionaires. New victims of the Titanic. With such headlines, the news spread worldwide on June 18, 2023. Rusty metal, wreckage scattered across the seafloor. These are the remains of the sunken Titanic. Get ready for an adventure that even Jules Verne couldn't have imagined. That's the advertising slogan of OceanGate, the company behind it all. These footage were captured by the Titan Submersible. On board the vessel, dozens of scientists and thrill-seeking tourists descended to the ocean depths to witness the legendary sunken liner with their own eyes. And it's worth noting that they paid a hefty price for this dive. The cost of a single ticket was $250,000. The duration of the excursion is approximately 8 hours. Many understood that diving to such depths was quite risky, but nevertheless, over the past few years, many people dared to embark on such a journey. The sunken Titanic is located 600 kilometers off the coast of Newfoundland. The submersible began its descent at 9 a.m. local time, and approximately 90 minutes later, communication with the submersible was lost. The crew on the mothership, Polar Prince, initiated a search for the submersible but was unsuccessful. They subsequently requested assistance from the Coast Guard. On that fateful day, there were 5 people inside the submersible, including 3 billionaires, one of the wealthiest individuals in Pakistan, Shahzada Dawood, and his 19-year-old son, Sulaiman Dawood, British extreme adventurer and businessman Hamish Harding, who has descended to the depths of the Mariana Trench, visited the South Pole, and traveled to space. Stockton Rush, the CEO and founder of OceanGate, as well as the creator of the Titan Submersible. Paul-Henri Narjolet, an experienced diver who piloted the Titan Submersible and had completed around 40 dives to the Titanic. According to Christian Dawood, the wife of the Pakistani billionaire, the events of that day unfolded as follows. The weather was clear, but the dive was delayed by 3 hours. The 5 individuals preparing for the dive underwent a briefing, refrained from drinking coffee or consuming heavy meals. They brought warm socks and hats with them, as it could be cold at such depths. Additionally, they were provided with waterproof pants, life jackets, branded orange jackets, and helmets. The passengers boarded the deep-sea vessel, and the interior was dark, illuminated only by monitors. The battery power was conserved for the excursion around the sunken Titanic. That was the last moment when Christian saw her husband and son alive. The dive was going according to plan, but 15 minutes before Titan's arrival at the designated location, communication with the submersible was lost. Upon learning this, Christian and Alina Dawood, the wife and daughter of the Pakistani billionaire, rushed to the ship's bridge where the dive was being monitored, but there was no communication with the submersible. The team assured them that if Titan did not establish contact within an hour, they would forcibly bring it back up. Christian and Alina Dawood stood on the ship's deck, gazing into the water, waiting to catch a glimpse of the resurfacing submersible. The rescue operation has begun. According to the specifications of the apparatus, the air supply was supposed to last for 4 days. According to the specialists, finding the lost deep-sea vehicle in the ocean is almost an unsolvable task. As underwater, it is impossible to use GPS, radar, or any other communication means that we use on the surface to determine the location of the underwater vehicle. The only option is acoustic sensors. The rescue operation was further complicated by the fact that the depth of the ocean in the search area is nearly 4,000 meters, and only a limited number of deep-sea vehicles can descend to such depths. The rescuers decided to drop hydrolocators in the search area from equipped aircraft. On the second day of the rescue operation, the crew of one of the aircraft detected suspicious noises at a depth with a frequency of every half an hour. These strange tapping sounds gave the rescuers hope that the crew of the Titan could still be alive. A decision was made to send deep-sea robots to the presumed location of the Titan, which could help locate the missing submarine that disappeared from the radars. As a result, 5 debris groups were discovered scattered on the ocean floor. These debris were identified as parts of the Titan submarine's hull. 4 days later, the Coast Guard reported that Titan debris had been found on the seabed and the entire crew had perished. So, what happened to the Titan submarine? What were the strange sounds heard by the rescuers? Could anyone have survived this catastrophe? Titan was a deep-sea vehicle that, according to its technical specifications, could dive to a depth of 4,000 meters. However, unlike standard deep-sea vehicles, Titan had an innovative design that allowed it to accommodate 5 people on board. The innovation of the Titan submarine lay in its construction, which consisted of a carbon fiber cylinder with 2 titanium hemispheres at the ends. Inside the submarine, several touchscreen monitors were installed, displaying technical information about the vessel and video from external cameras. The submarine was operated using a game controller-style joystick and monitors. Before each dive, the bathyscaphe underwent thorough checks. Those who had experienced the dive likened the preparation process to a space shuttle launch. All mechanisms, fastenings, and life support systems were tested multiple times before the vessel was lowered into the water. So, what happened to the submarine? Experts have put forward several hypotheses: loss of control or power, malfunction of the power supply resulting in the loss of communication, and the inability to control the vessel. There were also significant doubts about whether the submarine's crew could survive for 96 hours. In such a stressful situation for an unprepared crew, panic could likely occur, leading to increased oxygen consumption. However, after some time, journalists received information that the highly classified acoustic system of the U.S. Navy detected an explosion sound at the moment the communication with the submarine was lost. This raises the question of what could have exploded on the Titan, and whether it was an explosion at all. The version of an explosion is indeed supported by the size of the debris scattered on the ocean floor. Experts suggest that the destruction of the bathyscaphe's hull was caused by implosion, which, in simple terms, is an explosion resulting from water pressure. At a depth of 4 kilometers, the water pressure is 350 times higher than at the surface. And now we come to the main question: what could have led to the implosion? The most likely answer is related to the innovative design of the Titan submarine and Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate, who had extensive experience in aerospace engineering and was directly involved in the development of the F-15 Eagle fighter jet. During the design of the Titan bathyscaphe, Rush often admired Elon Musk and his ability to think unconventionally, going beyond boundaries. In one interview, Rush stated that carbon fiber and titanium should not be combined in one structure, but he did just that. Most likely, this structural peculiarity became the reason why OceanGate decided not to pursue certification. But what ultimately happened to the submarine's hull? The most reasonable expert opinion suggests the following: carbon fiber itself was not the cause of the hull's destruction. The catastrophe occurred due to the use of 3 materials: titanium, carbon fiber, and acrylic glass in the form of a viewport. Each of these materials reacts differently to pressure and temperature changes, and has a different degree of expansion and contraction. As a result, after 20 dives and resurfacings of the bathyscaphe, the materials had varying degrees of wear at their junctions. During the next dive, under immense pressure, it only took a single drop of water to cause the vessel to explode. Most likely, this tragedy will put commercial attempts to dive to the Titanic on hold, and the recklessness of CEO Stockton Rush will lead to the demise of OceanGate. But the most remarkable aspect of this story is that Stockton Rush's wife is the great-granddaughter of the wealthiest married couple who spent 40 years together and perished aboard the Titanic. They refused to board a lifeboat while women and children remained on the ship. Their story of self-sacrifice was depicted by James Cameron in his Oscar-winning film Titanic.
you.